I think that if you have more than 10 posts, you really should get a high lift jack just because it makes it a lot faster, and then you'll have the jack. And if you
Why are we operating the jack without the lever?
or a bottle jack, they're gonna take longer and you need to do a little bit more setup, like putting some wood on the ground.
Guys, we are trying so hard not to use a chain. I don't know. What do you guys think? Bottle jack on a piece of 4x4 with a notch cut out? Oof, I don't know.
First cut is gonna be parallel to the ground.
I don't know about this. Today's video is brought to you by Nationwide Industries, the Fence Pros' #1 choice. And they're this Fence Pros' choice for a couple reasons. The most recent reason? Gate kits. They've paired their most popular hinges with their most popular latches in the most common post sizes to make it easier to grab and go. Also, as a consumer, it makes sure you know you've got the right hinge for the right latch. For example, if you've got a pull gate, they've got a pull gate kit just for you. It's got the Cornerstone hinge in it. It's got the Trident 20-inch. Both some of our most popular gate hinge hardwares. You've got a vinyl fence with 5-inch posts. They got you covered. They've got their Cornerstone 2 hinge. They've got the Keystone Traverse latch, which I love a lot. They've also got a handle in there. But if you have a vinyl fence with, say, a 4-inch post, they've got that too. All at Nationwide Industries. Check them out in the link below. All right, guys, today's video is titled "The Quickest Way to Remove a Fence Post in Concrete?" From the Build It, Make It channel. If you'd like to watch this video in its entirety without my commentary, we'll link it in the description below. With all that being said, let's get into it.
Forget slipping chains and sore knees. In under 120 seconds with this method, you can remove stubborn concrete fence posts with only 2 tools.
All right, guys, let's talk about first and foremost about the lack of concrete on this post. What do we think? Maybe quarter bag, half a bag of concrete at the most? I don't know that this is the best illustration on how to remove a fence post, but let's continue watching.
Shovels and straps need not apply. I need to remove a bunch of...
Second, how are we removing posts with shovels and straps? I'm curious.
Metal fence posts from my backyard, and I tried 6 or 7 different techniques, but I kept having issues like the chain would slip off the metal post, or I would put the jack, and then as I...
Well, that's because the chain's just wrapped around the post. It's not under wrapped so it bites. I mean, I think if you wrap the chain properly, it's problem solved. I mean, this is similar to how we remove almost every post that we take out is wrap a chain, pull the post. As long as you wrap it with an underbite, it grabs and it's fine.
I'd lift it up, I'd have to reposition and do it another time. It was not going well. But I came up with this idea to use a reciprocating saw with the high lift jack, and it has worked great on both metal and wood posts.
Let's make some guesses on how we're using a reciprocating saw. And also in a previous video, we learned that that particular saw is also called a saber saw, which I exclusively call it from now on. How do you think he's going to use this reciprocating saw, saber saw, and a high lift jack that using a high lift jack by itself with the chain wouldn't accomplish?
The key to getting a post out is that your leverage device has good purchase on the post. Instead of wrapping a chain or strap around the post, I'm going to cut a notch in it with the reciprocating saw, which gives better purchase and it's actually faster. Your first cut is going to be parallel to the ground.
I don't know about this. Cutting the post with a reciprocating saw is faster than wrapping a chain, underbiting it, and pulling it? I don't know.
Aim for 1/3 of the way through a metal or wood post. Then you want to come from below at a 45-degree angle and cut that wedge out. I like the torch blades for metal and then a nice large toothed saw for wood. Now all you need to do is take the large runner of your jack and slip it into...
I think this is harder. I think this is making it harder than it needs to be. Your bite point or the notch you're cutting into it needs to be as low as possible. I mean, you're wanting to really get as close to the friction source, the concrete in the ground as possible. The further you move away, just the harder it's going to be to remove it. So if you're going to go to all this work, cut the notch closer. I mean, really, all we're doing is wrapping the chain at the base and then pulling it, but okay.
That slot that you just cut, take your jack arm and engage it just a little bit so that it's snug. Now, before you go to town, you want to make sure that the top of the jack doesn't slip past your post. You could get a 2x4 and brace it like that, but I like to just let the jack, as I start going, rest up against the post that I'm pulling out. Once you have that, you can crank away. Now you may be saying, I only have a few posts. I don't want to buy a high lift jack. Well, that's easy to solve by getting some more friends so you can borrow their tools. You can also use a floor jack or a bottle jack. They're going to take longer and you need to do a little bit more setup, like putting some wood on the ground.
Guys, we are trying so hard not to use a chain. I don't know. What do you guys think? Bottle jack on a piece of 4x4 with a notch cut out? I don't know that I've ever seen anybody do this. Like I said, I think we're trying really hard just not to pull this thing out of the ground conventionally.
I think that if you have more than 10 posts, you really should get a high lift jack just because it makes it a lot faster and then you'll have the jack. And if you
Why are we operating the jack without the lever? Also is a question.
Now I'm going to prove that I wasn't lying at the beginning of the video, and we're going to see how long it actually takes to pull out the post start to finish. My bet is that we can get it out in less time than it takes to cook a frozen burrito.
Again, I don't know if this is a great demonstration with this thing had probably 20 pounds of concrete around it, if any. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like I said, I think we're just trying to make this a lot harder than it needs to be. Wrap the chain, underbite it, latch it, and pull it up out of the ground. But again, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Always love interacting with you guys there. For now, Joe Everest, the fence expert, reminding you that good fences make good neighbors, and I'll see you next time.